Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Afar, Amhara, and Tigray region is that whereas in several areas of the Afar region, a heavy war is still going on between Afar forces, its allies, and Tigray Defense Force. And several areas of the Afar region are under the control of Tigray Defense Force. According to reports from many sources, Tigray Defense Force soldiers are moving towards Smira at this time. A few days ago, reports were received from Afar sources that Tigray Defense Force soldiers are heading towards the road which is connecting the Ethiopia and Djibouti. And now reports are being received that Tigray Defense Force soldiers are heading towards Smira. Viewers, according to reports from several Tigray supporters, Tigray Defense Force soldiers are about 40 kilometers away from Smira, and Tigray Defense Force strategy to enter Afar region has not yet been fully saluted. Various information is being received by the Afar administration, and various reports are being received from Tigray Defense Force, while the situation on the battlefield is quite different. Viewers, on the other hand, an Ethiopian senior government official has confirmed that his government is in a informal talk with the Tigray People's Liberation Front led by Dr. Debretsion Gebremichael, and a positive gesture for formal ceasefire between the two adversaries. Last week, Dr. Debretsion told the BBC that his group and the government of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed have been in talks for the last few days in an attempt to set terms of how a ceasefire negotiation could be conducted, but then said certain conditions from the Tigray People Liberation Front need to be availed before any talk could begin. In the interview, Debretsion revealed that they have been in informal talks with the Ethiopian federal government and said that there has emerged an improvement in the way they exchange messages but gave preconditions before formal talks for a ceasefire began. And the federal forces and our forces must stop fighting to give peace a chance. Not only that, but those necessary supplies must arrive. And unfortunately, we have a government that kills its own people, so we must stop fighting. And we must go to negotiate ceasefire, a formal ceasefire. Foreign forces must be withdrawn. The Eritrean forces are still in Tigray. They must withdraw. The Amhara militias are in Tigray. They have to withdraw, and any other foreign intervention must stop. Then we continue for a national dialogue, he said. But speaking to Sudan's Post this afternoon in Addis Ababa, a senior government official said some of the secret preconditions for the Tigray People Liberation Front to enter talks with the government was that the army chief is removed, which the official called an unrealistic demand. And they want the army chief to be removed as a precondition for holding talk with the federal government. To me, this demand is not a friendly demand and is unrealistic. You can say that you are for peace and you give such demands which will never be implemented by the other side, the official who requested to be named said. And the official further retreated Ethiopian government's commitment to achieving peace in all parts of the country, saying they are ready for talk with the Tigray People Liberation Front, but which he said should not be conditioned, something he said may certain the developing relations between the belligerents, and the government is ready and our people are all ready to talk to the Tigray People Liberation Front. But this gesture from the federal government of Ethiopia should not be used to implement sustained agenda by this group, and we are not ready to implement their terms. We will not seek for a common ground and a win-win solution to the conflict. And he said, when asked if the government in Addis Ababa is ready to expel foreign forces that are fighting alongside the Ethiopian army as demanded by the Tigray People Liberation Front, and the official reacted angrily, saying, there are not foreign forces in Ethiopia, and this is a propaganda coming from the Tigray People Liberation Front, and unfortunate you have succumbed to this propaganda. Yes, on the other hand, according to the reports, the year-long conflict in Ethiopia pitting the Tigray People's Liberation Front and its allies against the Ethiopian government has caused thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of battlefield casualties. On the other hand, according to the latest reports, a legal non-profit on Tuesday filed a complaint against Ethiopia at the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, alleging massive human rights violations against civilians in the war-torn northern region of Tigray, the lawyer said. The 15-month conflict has seen reports of massacres, mass rapes, and other atrocities by all sides, prompting the UN Human Rights Council in December to order a probe into a wide range of alleged abuses, a move condemned by Addis Ababa. The non-profit Legal Action Worldwide said it represents victims from Tigray who have provided testimony for the case but could not be listed as complainants due to fear of reprisals from the government. And Ethiopia is responsible for a wide range of human rights violations under the African Charter, including military targeting of civilians and civilian infrastructure, mass and extrajudicial killings, gender-based sexual violence, arbitrary arrest and detention, said a statement released by the lawyers. And the complaint requests that the African Commission order Ethiopia to stop all violations and abuses against civilians in Tigray, allow unfettered access of food and humanitarian access of food and humanitarian aid to the region, and ensure the protection of the human rights of all Ethiopians, especially in Tigray. Thus, there was no immediate comment on the case from the Ethiopian government or the Commission headquarters in the Gambia. Since the spiraling conflict between Ethiopian government forces and Tigray Defense Force erupted in November 2020, it has left thousands dead and, according to the United Nations, driven hundreds of thousands to the brink of famine. Tigray itself has for months been subject to what the United Nations says is a de facto blockage, and the United States has accused the Ethiopian government of blocking aid, which in turn has blamed the Tigray Defense Force for the obstructions. And last month, the United Nations World Food Programme said that nearly 40% of people in Ethiopia's Tigray were suffering an extreme lack of food, with fuel shortages forcing aid workers to deliver medicines and other crucial supplies by foot. So viewers, so far the latest update. For more latest update, please subscribe channel. Thanks for watching.